What we're doing here is this, guys, okay? You invest €20,000 in a building society. The rate of interest for the first year was 2.5%. So what I asked you to do was something like this. Make a little table. I didn't see too many tables going around. And once you've made your table, what I'd say is you put down year 1, year 2, and then you put down start of year, end, and then there's like an adjustment at the end. So the adjustment can be you take out money or you invest more money, one or the other. So okay, so what we get here is this, guys, €20,000, and we multiply it by what number to add on 2.5%? So I go again. Nearly 1.025. Forget the 1 adds on the 2.5%. So 20,500. What you do at the end of year 1? Plus 2,000. And what does that mean you have at the start of year 2? Okay. What happens in year 2? You add on 2%. So add on with 2,000. And then multiply. Oh, sorry. I added on 20,000 as opposed to 2,000. So that's 2,000 added on. Multiply by 1.02 to add on 2%. And you get 22,950. Okay? The answer for that is 22,950. At the end of the second year, you added on another 1,050. This brought the grand total to what? At the start of year 3. Add them together, 24,000. Your 24,000 is then gets multiplied by some number, and after it gets multiplied by this random number, it turns into 24,720. So remember what happens every year. We get the money we started off with at the start of the year. We multiply it by some number, which is usually 1.0 something. Okay? After we multiply it, it results in a bigger number, which was 24,720. We had to figure out what number did we multiply it by to turn it into the bigger number. So the opposite of multiplication is division. Divide the 24,720 by 24,000. So 24,720 divided by 24,000, and long and behold, it's 1.03. What does 1.03 stand for? 3% added on in that final year. Any questions? Guys, question 12. So what we have here, once again, I'm going to set up my system. Start, end, and how many years am I going for this time around? Is it 3 years again? Third year, so I'm going for 3 years. Year 1, year 2, year 3, start, finish, adjustment. You can call that anything you want. There's no real formal way of doing this, okay? So, start is €10,000 was invested for 3 years of compound interest. The rate for the first year was 4%. So 10,000 multiplied by what? Going to multiply that by 1.04, and what do we get? 10,400, is it? Sorry, somebody tell me. 10,000 multiplied by 1.04? I think so, it was 10,400. Okay. Do we do anything at the end of year 1? No, we did nothing at the end of year 1, so there's no adjustment. Okay, then 10,400 gets multiplied by what for the second year? 4.5% this time. 1.045, and what you get? Oh, sorry, 10,868, thank you. Is there any adjustment at the end of year 2? Now, technically speaking, the beginning of the third year and the end of the second year, you're talking December 31st, 2012 compared to January 1st, 2013. They're basically the same time. So the adjustment can come at the start of the year or the end of the year. So we're just going to do the adjustment now. So technically speaking, we added on an extra 8,000, didn't we? So the answer to question 1 is 10,868. We add on an extra 8,000 to become 18,868. We multiply it by some number that we don't know the value of, and it turns into 19,434.04. Remember what we always do. We get the number at the start of the year, we multiply it by some number we don't know the value of, and we got 19,434.09. Can anybody suggest what I do? So you bring this down, you bring it down and you divide it underneath the 18,868. And what you get when you divide it? But just the actual number 1.03. What does 1.03 mean? 3% added. Is that okay? Okay. 15. Now, these are the hard ones, right? 15, alright? Person invested 50,000 for 3 years at 4% per annum compound interest. At the end of the first year, this much was withdrawn. At the end of the second year, another sum of money was withdrawn. At the end of the third year, the person's investment was worth 36,400. Calculate the amount of money that was withdrawn after 2 years. Okay. At the end of the third year. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to draw 3 years worth, and we're just going to have to fill in whatever numbers we can. So year 1, year 2, year 3. Okay, so year 1, year 2, year 3, start, end, adjustment. Adjustment can be a withdrawal or an investment, okay? 50,000 euro. Add on 4%. We multiply by 1.04. What do we get? 52 on the money? Okay. We did, at the end of the first year, we took away 11,500. So what do we have left? 40,500. Okay. What we do next, guys, is multiply by what percentage for the second year? Multiply by 1.04 again, and what do we get? Multiply by 1.04. 42525. Okay. We did something to this number. So we took away a random number that I don't know. So I'm just going to put in a blue box. We withdrew money. So can anybody tell me, in the red box, are we going to have a number bigger than 42,000 or a number smaller than 42,000? Smaller, because we withdrew money. This red box, which... Yeah, I haven't done... This one. Sorry, just one sec. 40,500 multiplied by 1.04. Yeah, you're right. 42120. Just make sure you got the right figures before you give them to me, guys. Okay? Now, we're going to get a number bigger than 42120, okay? So what we're going to do here is this, guys, okay? We're going to multiply the red box by 1.04 because it's 4% every year. The result is going to be 36,400. Our job is to find out what did we start off the year with to give us 36,400 after we added 4% onto it. So what do you think you do? How'd you find out what number was in the red box? Divide it by the 1.04, and what you get? 35G, okay? So 35 grand. 35 big ones. No, that is not 351,000. It's 35,000 with a rather long comma. Okay?